Hi, and welcome back to The Bad Perspective, a podcast presented by SheBad. I'm founder and host Keylani, and this is episode 3. I'm so excited to be here today. You guys do not understand. The fact that we took all of January off and it's now February is crazy, but that was with intention. I really wanted to take the first month of the year to just pour into me, make sure I was getting myself in order, my routines, and what I wanted out of the year straight before I just started doing anything. And I feel so good that I did that because I feel like the language around the new year a lot of time is to just do as much as you can as quickly as you can. I just don't subscribe to that. I feel like just because it's the new year doesn't mean that now you should go run rampant. Like, relax. If anything, you need to plan even more because everyone is wanting to do everything. And you don't want to be one of those people that is trying to just get your hands into something you really don't know about or that really doesn't align with where you want to be in life. And so for me, the new year is a chance to realign and redirect and reset. And that is exactly what I did. And I'm so happy that I did it. So we are back and I love it. I'm so excited for this new year and all of the things that SheBad is going to do, but especially our podcast. Like, we are infants in the podcast space, which is so fun. And I just have so many things that I want to do with this podcast. And I'm just so happy to be starting. That's literally the first step, is just to start and be consistent. And that is what I intend to do. Also, as you can see, we have a brand new setup. I liked the old setup. It was, high quality camera, high quality lighting, and, you know, that is great. But I just don't want that for this podcast. I want us to just be not on chill, but just more relaxed, more casual. I want it to feel like we're on the phone, like we're just chopping it up. We're on the phone with our homegirl. Like, I want to just be that space. And as we continue to grow, I feel like that is something that is going to be important to me because that's what I want for this podcast. And I think that the first thing in feeling that way is lighting and camera quality. I personally love high quality stuff, but at the same time, that also gives a very cold feeling sometimes. Like, I just felt like that was just not really our vibe. And I want to be as authentic to SheBad as possible. And if that means we have a new setup, then we have a new setup. And I'm not scared to just evolve in front of everybody and quote unquote fail forward, if you will. I really don't care. This is our new setup and I love it. And it feels so good and so great. So, yes. And you guys can see me. Like, I talk with my hands, I'm very expressive. I don't want to feel like I have to, like, be stuck, and just, like, overly professional. Like, this is a fun space. Professional stuff can stay with work and our careers. This is for fun. You know what I mean? Like, this is for the girls. And the girls want FaceTime. The girls don't want chatterbox, TED Talks. So that's that on that. So this episode, we will be talking about our blog titled Shameless, which I love. Again, because of the new year, I just felt like this is the perfect blog to kind of just talk to you guys about and talk through. Again, at the top of the year, everyone is running like a chicken with their head cut off, trying to do so many things. And I don't know, I just cannot get on that bandwagon. I just don't think that the new year is this end all be all timeline that people want us to think it is, especially when people will start the year, those first couple of weeks, doing so many things and being super productive, and then they start psyching themselves out. They start, getting burnt out from their new routine that they created, and then you just, like, leave it. Like, they don't even do anything the rest of the year because you completely just exhausted yourself immediately in January. So I'm gonna read the blog, we're gonna get into it and go from there. Shameless. I'm coming for everything. No ego, no shame, just hustle. In a time where a portfolio career has become a need and not a want, nothing should be left on the table. Not that you should just do and try everything that crosses your mind, but there's no reason to limit yourself. If you have the skills, expertise, and interest in something, explore and capitalize on it. Not necessarily for monetary gain, sometimes the best opportunities provide access that is priceless, but positioning yourself properly is crucial in an era where everyone is doing everything. Like I said, everyone is doing everything, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I think it just depends on who you are and what it is that you want. For some people, it makes sense to be having your hand in so many different pots. For other people, it might be a little bit of a reach just because maybe you don't have the skill set that actually makes sense for you to try to explore this new career path or this hobby or whatever. Like, maybe you should try to do something It's crucial here is you have to know yourself. Like, everyone doing everything isn't necessarily an issue if the people who are doing everything actually can. I think it makes sense to do quote unquote everything if that makes sense for who you are. Like, if you're a person who is multi-talented, you are very skillful, you adapt to things very easily, and you really can have your hand in jars across industries and just different functions, then go right ahead. But if you're someone who really is successful in like a few little pockets, then maybe just stay in those pockets. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like because social media has become such a prevalent part of, our society in a way that it wasn't once before. Like, before, yes, we had social media, it was there, but we all understood like the internet is the internet. It's online. And now it's kind of like online has influenced in real life. And I think people see, content creators who are business professionals in their respective industries. You'll see doctors who have full social media pages and they have found success. They've found a following by creating content. I think certain people can find success in doing that if they understand the market that they're trying to go into. I think a lot of people go into these spaces and they don't know how to balance all of those things. And then you have the other side of that where it's someone who maybe has their hands in too many jars, and instead of it helping them, it's almost hurting them and their credibility, because it's almost like you're doing too much that we don't know what you do, and I kind of don't trust any of it. It's kind of just giving like jack of all trades but master of none. Like, what is it that you do? From the audience perspective, it just gives like, what are you doing? I can't keep up. Like, it's just too much. I think that is what I'm trying to avoid the girls from doing. Like, if you have a career and you want to do something else, by all means, do that. That's why I mentioned a portfolio career, because maybe that is the era that we live in. These jobs are slim and they're just getting slimmer because the economy is not in the best place. So your best bet is to understand your multiple talents and figure out how can I capitalize in an authentic way on these talents. If you don't know what a portfolio career is, I'm gonna tell you. Regardless of your industry or your job, you have one stream of income and you are focusing on that one stream throughout your entire career. That is what a traditional career looks like. Then you have a portfolio career where typically you will have that first stream of income that is like your primary stream of income. This is what you're known for. This is how you've grown credibility in your industry or you've gained experience, whatever. And then you go and you have other streams of income on the side. So you might consult, you might advise, you might do coaching, you might be a public speaker, you might start a business, whatever that looks like. But you're going and you're doing other things. A good example of this that is unrealistic, but it does exemplify what it is I'm trying to get at, would be someone like a Rihanna, who she traditionally, her main career was to be a recording artist. That was it. That was her career. Then with that, she decided to go and build businesses on the side of being a recording artist. So she has obviously Fenty Beauty, which has become an empire with Fenty Skin and Fenty Hair. She also has Savage X Fenty, along with all of the other endorsements she had while primarily being a recording artist. Pretty much a portfolio career is just going to allow for you to capitalize off of your talents, your skills, your expertise, and make money from it, basically. That's why you see a lot of people who are in various professional spaces going and creating content, trying to find their way to different industries, trying to figure out how can I amplify my voice, because I understand that in today's market, that's kind of something you kind of have to do. You kind of have to have a brand around yourself, depending on the industry you're trying to go into, just because it's so competitive. There's not many roles out right now. And I think if you're trying to be one of those, super ambitious, best of the best people, a portfolio career is kind of the route you have to take. Not unfortunately, but I think if you're someone who you don't want to do that, then maybe you have to reimagine, what type of lifestyle you want to live or how you want to go about your career. A big thing for me in writing this blog was also just confidence. 2025 was a crazy year for me. I remember at the end, as we were getting closer to New Year's Eve, talking and being like, genuinely, I felt like this year was 2 years of my life. Like, I lived two completely different lives. The first half of 2025 was just not good. Like, not good. I don't think that I went through anything that I would say that it wasn't good. but it was just very hard. Where I was in life in the first half of 2025, I was just not having it. Like, I was not happy. I was not comfortable. And I'm someone, I don't want to get comfortable anywhere that I don't want to be. And I don't want to get content in something that I know is temporary. And I knew that the season that I was living in the beginning of 2025 was going to be temporary. And I just could feel it. Like, I just knew in my, like, soul that this is not where I'm supposed to be. This is not where the train stops. Like, I need to keep going. And I had to reimagine where I wanted the train to go next. And that was the first half of 2025, which kind of like shot my confidence to shit, I won't lie. And I just was like, okay, I need to get back in the groove of things. I know the things that I want to do with my life, and I have to just get started so that I can get those things going. And I found myself in that second half of 2025 really focusing on doing the work behind the scenes and establishing myself as best I can professionally, establishing my confidence as best as I could, and getting my routines in order and like really pouring into me, because in order to go out and do all these things that you want to do, you have to have confidence. You have to have audacity, because you really aren't supposed to, quote unquote, be able to do so many different things. That's not how the world works. You have to just decide, this is what I'm doing, and do it without shame. And I found myself at the end of 2025 getting a little like cold feet a little bit, and like trying to chicken out of my, goals and what I wanted for myself. And I won't lie, it was a lot. I wanted to be on TikTok more consistently, because I've been at this content thing now for a couple years. I've never been consistent. I've always had great engagement when I post. I'm just not, I just have never shown up. I've never followed up. I've never been someone who is consistently, showing up to these platforms. So I was like, okay, do the TikTok thing and like actually, be consistent, like create on TikTok. So that was one. Then I wanted to get SheBad's social together, because it had kind of fallen to the wayside. I was dealing with a lot of stuff last year, and it just wasn't priority, point blank. So wanted to get that back together. We did that. I was able to execute that really well, and I just love the way that the social page looks these days. It looks so good. Then I wanted to get the podcast up and running, because at the time we did not have the podcast together yet. The podcast was not up yet. I hadn't even recorded an episode, and I was kind of psyching myself out of doing it. And I was like, no, you cannot do this. So that was another thing. And then I'm trying to think. I feel like I had like one more thing. Oh, Substack. I wanted to get onto Substack, because although I write via, SheBad, I want my own little space that isn't necessarily attached to the work that I do with SheBad. And so I'm like, when I want to be able to go into Substack and, write if I want. And so I have like 4 or 5 things on my little list that I needed to get done. And I just was like, ooh, this is a lot. I just was getting like cold feet, basically, and was just like, I don't know why I told myself that we're gonna do all of these things, because now I don't want to, and I'm kind of scared, and I don't know, I don't want to do it. And for me, I don't know about anyone else, but I genuinely do not care about people's opinion of me, like, at all. I do not care. I could not care less. I have no interest in trying to make you have a different opinion of me. I genuinely do not care. And so when I get in those modes where I'm scared to do something, I'm like, why are you scared? Realistically, when people are scared to do something, it's typically for 2 reasons. One, people don't want to fail or be seen failing. And then 2, you don't want people to have an opinion about what you're doing. I don't care about either one. I have no issue with failing, because I'm not failing at anything. It's not a fail. To me, I don't think it's a failure. I think if you tried to do something and it didn't work out, it didn't work out. Like, it's not that serious. But then also, people having an opinion, like, people have opinions. Who cares? Like, I have opinions. Who cares? Like, I don't know. It doesn't do anything for me. Like, that's just not, I don't care. Like, I don't know how to explain that any other way. Like, genuinely, I couldn't care less. And so, only reason I will chicken out of something is if I am not feeling confident. Like, if I feel like I can't show up to it the way I want to, if I feel like, I don't know, I'm like spread thin and I'm overwhelmed and all that type of stuff, like, I freeze, right? And so I kind of realized, like, I just was a little in over my head at the time, or at least that's how I felt. I just had to like give myself a plan of like, okay, do this, then wait a little bit, work on that, then, kind of space things out. Like, it doesn't have to happen all at once. But I'm someone who is extremely productive. I don't know how to sit down. I love working on something, I love creating, and the time it takes for me to think of something and then execute is very slim. And so when I find myself in that space, I just have to be like, girl, you don't even care. Because I don't. We don't care. We don't care about that. But that's a hard thing for a lot of people. I just love the blog for that very reason of just being able to give people that extra nudge of confidence, because as I don't give a as I am, if I can feel insecure and question myself and uncertain of what it is that I'm trying to do, then I know that there's a girl out there who needs that blog, and just that extra confidence boost of like, girl, you got this, do it, who cares, and like do it shamelessly. And like, we have a blog, and I won't get into it too much because maybe we'll do an episode on that later, but it's called Trying Isn't Cringe. And it's like, people have made it to where someone who puts in effort, someone who works hard, someone who has ambition and drive and a really good work ethic is somehow like cringy or something. I don't know. But around these parts, that's not cringe. Okay, around these parts, you get your tens, because what are we talking about? Like, I don't want to be around nobody lazy. I don't want to be around nobody who don't want to work, who don't want to make it happen, who ain't gonna hustle, honey. Okay, you gotta hustle, you gotta work, you gotta have things you want to do in life. Personally, I don't want to be around anyone who just wants to sit on their butt and then wait for money to fall out the sky. It don't work like that. You gotta work. You gotta want something out of life. And while we all wish it worked that way, I wish I could sit and not do nothing and just get money. But that's not how this works. You gotta work. And you should want to have something of your own. You should want to have something that you're working towards. And I don't think that you should have any shame about it, because who is it to be shamed by? I hope this inspires you guys to go after what it is that you want shamelessly this year. 2026 is going to be such an amazing year with so many great opportunities for each and every one of us. I already know. Do not have fear. Do not tell yourself you can't do something. Just go out, do the work, and the rest will follow. With that being said, I am always going to root for the girls who do things shamelessly. I love seeing someone do as many things as they can and doing them well. I love seeing people who don't limit themselves and who just have that confidence. At the end of the day, just have that confidence and the audacity to know what you want out of life wants you back and just go after it. I love seeing when women go after what they want and they don't leave any stone unturned. Like, I just love that. I really do, because it's amazing to see, and I love being a fan of women who do that. And this is the prime time to just go after it. We have so many resources at our fingertips, and if you don't know how to do something, connect with someone. If you don't know much about something, do the research. Like, really do the work for what it is that you're trying to do, and put yourself in the best position for success. That is like the only advice I will give you from this video. If you do nothing else, put yourself in the best position you can, because no one else will do it for you. And that is why I personally will always do things shamelessly, because who am I embarrassed by? Who am I scared to be seen by? I really don't care. Like, who is it to feel that way about? Like, that makes no sense to me. I understand being insecure. I understand having anxiety. I understand being fearful. But there's no other person's opinion of you that matters more than the opinion you have of yourself. Point blank, period. So you have to do the work to be like, look, we're going to do this. We're going to do it scared. We're going to do it with no ego, no shame, and we're just going to do the work. Because at the end of the day, work will get rewarded when you're doing what is in alignment with where you are supposed to be in your life. And that is something that you just have to remember and remind yourself of. And when you don't know what to do, take a second, give yourself a chance to reset, pause, realign, and then go right back and go at it. So that is where I will leave you guys with this episode of The Bad Perspective. Thank you again for listening, and I will see you guys in the next one.